Hello and welcome my friends to your channel Express Deals Zone, where this time we will review a mid-range phone from Xiaomi, which is the global version Poco X6 5G. This video covers a variety of aspects of the phone, including design, display, performance, camera, and battery. If you are looking for a mid-range phone, watch the video with us. This device offers strong specifications. Firstly, the screen has a resolution of 1.5K and the performance is outstanding. Without further ado, in the video we will know all the advantages and disadvantages of the Poco X6. It is a device suitable for your needs. The device comes in 3 colors, white, black, and blue. The charger comes at a speed of 67 watts with a Type-C charging cable. The device comes with a distinctive silicone cover, which Xiaomi has been including in all its devices instead of the transparent cover. Frankly, the cover is a very distinctive addition and its shape is much better than the transparent cover. In the box of the device does not come with a headphone, as is usual for all Xiaomi devices. The design of the device from the back looks strong and organized, especially the white color. To be honest, the device here looks good and organized. The back of the device is made of plastic, and this is not a defect at all, because most mid-range devices come like this. This device's frame comes in a flat shape, similar to what is found in iPhones and most modern devices. The frame of the device is made of plastic. On the right side are the volume and power buttons. The left side has nothing on it. As for the bottom of the device, there is a SIM card tray, which occupies 2 nano SIM cards. You have the microphone for calls, you have a USB-C port, and you have a speaker, and at the top of the device you have the 3.5 port. Connect the headphone and you have the second speaker, which works with the speaker that is at the bottom of the device, giving an excellent stereo sound experience. You have active noise cancellation or the microphone for noise isolation. And you have the IR remote, which Xiaomi does not give up on in all its parts of any category. The thickness of the device will be 8 mm and the thickness of the device here. It is very excellent and normal, and its weight is 151 grams. The weight here is very light and not tiring if you are one of those who use the device for long periods. The device is resistant to splashes and water according to IP54 standards, which allows you to use the mobile phone very normally under light rain. As for the screen, it is one of the really strong points of the device, with a flat AMOLED screen that can display up to 68 billion colors. The screen here has excellent viewing angles and its colors are saturated for users who like saturated colors. If you do not like saturated colors, you can make a very simple adjustment from the settings and screen edges here. Very few and not symmetrical on all sides. The bottom edge and the top edge feel that they are a little larger than the edges on the sides. We were hoping that the edges would be symmetrical on all sides because this gives a valuable and better look to the design at the same time. The edges here are very acceptable and their shape is good and you will not face any problems with them in the screen. This takes up 89.7 of 10% of the device's interface. Its size is 6.67 inches. Its resolution is 1220 by 2712 pixels. This resolution is 1.5K, and the pixel density on this screen is 446 pixels per inch. This is a very excellent number, sufficient, and it is impossible to see these screen pixels with your eyes, and the screen comes at a rate of refresh is 120 Hz and the screen brightness reaches 1800 nits. This is a very excellent and fantastic number. It is impossible to face any vision problems under direct sunlight. This screen supports displaying HDR10+ content and calls Mi Vision. The screen has a Corning Gorilla Glass Victoise protection layer on it. And since we are talking on the screen, and since it is AMOLED, the fingerprint here, of course, supports the always-on screen feature or always-on display. The performance of the device comes with a processor from Qualcomm, which is the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2, which supports 5th generation networks. The processor is with 4 nanometers technology and of course it is 8-core and its speed can reach 2 GHz. This processor has an Adreno 710 graphics processor, and by the way, this processor is the one found in Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro, which we talked about previously. As for performance, this processor does not affect your daily tasks. And if you are interested in games, specifically PUBG, you are able to play on the extreme frame with HDR graphics at the same time, and if you go to Ultra Frame, you will be able to access Ultra HDR graphics in the device. It is available in 3 versions. The first version has 256 GB internal memory with 8 GB RAM, and the second version has 256 GB internal memory, but has 12 GB RAM. The third and final version has 512 GB internal memory and has 12 GB RAM, and the memory in the device here is UFS 2 type. As for the system, the device comes with Android version 13 with Xiaomi's proprietary interface, MIUI version 14. The device will receive 3 updates to the Android system with 4 years of support for security updates, and the first run will be updated to Android version 14 with the new interface. It is owned by Xiaomi, which is HyperOS, the first version. The cameras are the rear cameras, and the device comes at the back with 3 cameras. The first one of them has a 64-megapixel camera with an f1 lens aperture. It is the main camera, and the main camera here supports optical image stabilization, and the second camera in the device has a resolution of 8 megapixels with an f2.2 lens aperture. This is the ultra-wide cameras for wide-angle photography, while the third camera is 2 megapixel with an f2.4 lens aperture. This is for photographing micros or small objects that you need to get close to with the mobile phone. The camera in the device here can shoot video at 4K resolution at 30 frames per second, even if you shoot accurately. The 1080p starts at frame rates of 30 frames per second, and the maximum number of frames you can reach is 60 frames per second. As for the front camera, it will have a 16-megapixel camera with an f2.5 lens aperture. This camera can shoot video with a resolution of 10.80 at 60 frames per second. The camera here, unfortunately, will have modest performance due to the narrow lens aperture, which will not allow enough light to pass through the sensor to give satisfactory results, especially if you are photographing in poor lighting. And then the battery. The device comes with a lithium polymer battery with a capacity of 5,100 mAh. The battery capacity here is very excellent. It will last you the day without any problems without you needing to charge it in the middle of the day. The device supports fast charging with a power of 67 watts, which charges this battery from 0 to 100% in approximately about 45 minutes. Among the things that are important for you to know, the device supports all the sensors that you may need, such as acceleration, convergence, and convergence. Here it is through an existing sensor, not through software, and of course it supports the compass and gyroscope sensors. The device supports the NFC feature for contactless payment or some uses for credit cards. The device comes with Wi-Fi version 6, which supports the Wi-Fi Direct feature to share files faster with devices that support this feature. The device comes with Bluetooth version 5.2. Among the defects present in the device, the first defect is that the device does not support the installation of an external memory card. But this is not considered a strong defect because most mid-range devices come like this, and the devices currently have a storage space that you can choose the appropriate capacity for your need. The second defect is the very modest performance of the front camera due to the narrow lens aperture, and the third defect is that the camera of the background is not photographed at a number of frames more than 60 frames, and this would be a problem if you were interested in slow-motion photography. These were all the defects present in the device. The device is available in 3 colors, black, white, and blue, and the global price of the device is currently $251.71 US.